Hello, my name's Glenn Harren. I'm an artist living in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Glenn Harren and I have been friends for almost 50 years. As we look at his beautiful paintings, Glenn answers my questions about his life and art. Hi, Glenn. How did you get started in art? Were you good at it as a kid?
My mother was an artist, so I grew up with her paintings on the walls and her encouragement. At around 5 years old, I started drawing. My ability started to get noticed, and at that time I began calling myself an artist. Starting in elementary school, I took art classes whenever I could find them. My senior year in high school, I started studying in local private studios in Bucks County for the next 5 years. This led me to Cape School of Art, where I studied color and was introduced to Henry Henchy. From there, I found the Academy.
We were classmates at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts. How did those years help form you into the artist you are today?
At the Academy, my foundation was laid. I was able to live and breathe painting for 4 years. I cleaned the museum at night, surrounded by all the magnificent paintings. I learned what it meant to be an artist. They say it's hard to be an artist, but if you are one, just try not being one. The Academy is where painting became part of my soul.
I want to just quickly share an anecdote about Glenn. When we were students, one of our great teachers and Glenn's mentor, Arthur DeCosta, was selected to paint the portrait of Frank Rizzo, mayor of Philadelphia. DeCosta said the former mayor posed 12 times for the painting. "I don't think I'm the easiest guy to paint," said Rizzo. "I can't sit too long."
One day I went to his studio to see the portrait of Frank Rizzo he was working on. He asked to see my right hand. "It was a match," he exclaimed. And for the next couple weeks I posed my right hand for the painting of Frank Rizzo. I guess you could say I gave him a hand in the painting of Frank Rizzo.
How did growing up in Bucks County, home of the Pennsylvania Impressionists, influence you?
It had a profound effect. When I was about 10 years old, I saw 2 beautiful Edward Redfield paintings at our local bank. Awestruck, I began to research the Pennsylvania Impressionists. I found Daniel Garber, Walter Baum, and George Sauter, just to name a few. I had Sauter's Class Studio as my own painting studio for a couple of years. I became the first preparator for the new Michener Art Museum and went on to freelance art mover. Me and my truck, Masterpiece Express, ferried art for all the museums and galleries in the area. I transported Daniel Garber's watershed painting and then helped install it. Many years later, I took those 2 Redfield paintings I saw in the bank when I was 10 to Michener for an installation. I was very fortunate to have grown up surrounded by this rich heritage, but I don't consider myself a Pennsylvania Impressionist. I'm becoming older now, but I'm still young in art years and feel like I'm just getting started, finding my own voice. I was once called a cross between Alice Neal and John Singer Sargent. I do like that.
Glenn may not consider himself a Pennsylvania Impressionist, but these 3 paintings that he did of the Grand Canyon definitely have the beauty that I associate with that group of artists. What's your aesthetic? What are you trying to express?
I am searching for the beauty of the world and the extraordinary aspects of everyday life, whether in color of a landscape or the simple dignity of the human form. I'm trying to share those things using the language of painting.
What is the syntax of that language?
Shapes, color, and light are to painting as notes are to music and words are to poetry.
Many of your paintings include figures, often in some social setting. Do you have a vision of human life that you are trying to express?
I just paint my world. I'm in awe of this world we live in. I see beauty everywhere, and I guess my job is to remind people, whatever you focus on will expand.
Once when Glenn and I were talking about the social context of his figure paintings, he replied simply, "We need each other." Glenn's painting, Community Breakfast, exemplifies that. And who doesn't need a friendly barber? Or a baker? Or a coach? And you know what artists need more than anything? A model. Tell me about your iconic image, Posing for Artists.
I was attending a weekly life drawing group. The model was on break, and I got up on the pedestal and took some pictures of the artist as they waited for the model to return. I wanted to show what the model saw as she posed. Back in the studio, I worked on drawings and came up with the painting.
I love this picture and can tell you from personal experience, modeling is not an easy job. You'd think that sitting there without moving would be a snap, but it isn't. And in fact, it's often painful. Being a model is tough. That's probably the only thing I've ever agreed with Frank Rizzo about. What kind of materials do you use?
I paint in oil, and I'm very fond of Vasari's oil paint.
Can you walk me through your process?
I ride my motorcycle to look for compositions. I like to work on many at a time, all stages of development, different energy for different stages. I mass in the canvas with color, and then I put the canvas away, face against the wall, and start another. By doing this, the painting is no longer an extension of me, and when I return to it, I discover the serendipity and the personality of the painting, and I can add to it instead of plowing through it.
I understand that you engage in a type of exercise between painting sessions to help give you a pair of fresh eyes.
I swim. Swimming is meditation with movement. It's all about getting quiet and staying in the moment.
We graduated from the Academy in 1980. How have you managed to keep at it all these years?
The older I get, the more I need to paint. It's part of my DNA now. I keep my life simple, and painting gives meaning to my life. When I was young, I was told you need to cover a square mile of canvas before you call yourself an artist. I'm a marathon man, I guess. It's a long journey, and I'm excited about where my work will lead when I'm 94.
What do you want viewers to take away from your work?
A smile.
Well, your work always puts a smile on my face. Glenn will be in a group show in New York's Prince Street Gallery between July 29th and August 16th, 2025. If you attend the opening and are nice to Glenn, he might even give you a ride on the back of his motorcycle.